Joining us here today, we are with Miss Kim, and she runs Elle Interior Designing.
Elle Hudson.
But it's more to it than that. It's not just interior designing. Can you give a little brief, like when people ask what you do, what is it we do?
Well, we do a lot of work in new construction consulting, finish and fixture selections, also renovations if you're doing a kitchen remodel, bathroom remodel.
Oh, good.
Help with the finish, fixtures, lighting, plumbing, tile.
Cool.
Anything that goes into the space once the walls are up. And then we also do furnishing, window treatments, carpeting, flooring. And so if you have a space that's already put together, but you just need new furniture or a new look, we can revive it just with furniture.
So if you have like an awkward space, I'm sure you get a lot of those, like, what do I do with this size or this shape room? Yeah, so you can go in there and you like design it all out. And you're like, you can fit these things. What I always like is you have creative ideas with like furniture that I would have never thought of, or like dishwashers that aren't really standard, things like that, right?
Absolutely. There's always a solution to every problem, and sometimes there's multiple solutions. So we'll work with you to identify the different layouts that could work.
Cool.
What you might be doing now with your layout that is not optimizing your space. A lot of people will have their furniture and they say, I just don't understand why. And it's a matter of moving a couch 2 feet. It makes a big difference. So
when people call you, what's the very first thing? You sit down and you talk about like their goals. How does that look?
So I like to do a scoping call first, where you call, you kind of tell me the problems that need solved and what your desired investment in the project is.
Got it.
And then we'll talk through that. I'll evaluate the space, and then I'll give you a good idea on the fee ranges for what you're looking to do.
All right, awesome. Do you even have like financial options and stuff too, or have you worked with people in the past to kind of help them with that element of it?
So right now I don't have a lot of direct connections with financial backings, but I'm sure you have those connections.
That's right. We know people.
Talk to Billy.
We know people.
But yeah, we do give options in terms of based on your investment that may kind of pigeonhole us into what products we're looking at, what extent of services we're evaluating. And I always tell people, once I'm their designer, I hope to be their designer for life. It's a really personal experience. So once someone understands you, once someone gets what you're looking for, it's good to stick with that. So even if it's not a full-blown project from the get-go, oftentimes we'll phase things, right? So this year we're working on our kitchen. You know, 2 years from now we'd like to work on this space. It's no problem to break it into manageable pieces if that's what needs to be done.
That is really creative. And you do lots of different areas, like you're down here in Southern Maryland, of course.
Sure.
And then you get as far as Virginia, D.C., and all those areas, right?
Yeah, Maryland, D.C., Virginia.
Okay, so you probably see some really historic, cool stuff.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
some very cool properties,
All right, so we're going to put you on the spot.
Yeah.
What is your most creative project you've done in the past?
One of my favorite projects.
Oh, you quick with that. That was good.
This one was really fun.
Wow, that was pretty fast.
So I had a client who I built her new construction home for her in McLean.
Okay.
And after a short while, she relocated and purchased a resort in Maine. And so she said, one of those things, you're my designer for life. And so she had me get involved with the renovation and interior design of her resort in Maine, which was so much fun.
Did you go up to Maine?
Oh, all the time.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So some of it was like Zoom, Skype. How old am I? Some of it was Zoom and video, and some of it was in person.
Absolutely.
Too. Oh,
well, and to that point, there are clients who say, hey, we want this job done. It's not within your typical region. So we do also do remote consulting, where if you supply the dimensions, the measurements, obviously you're on the hook for those being accurate. But if you supply those, then we can do the layouts for you. We can do the piece consulting, as long as you can procure and take care of the delivery yourself, then we'll get everything up to that point prepared for you.
That's wonderful. All right, so if we're talking to our audience, what would be 2 tips you would give them to make their house feel a little more spacious? 2 that you see very frequently. You're like, God, if you could just do this all the time, what would it be?
So I think, interestingly, our gut reaction is often to put furniture against walls.
Yeah.
But the space we're in now, it's not a huge space.
You're right.
But we are leaving perimeter around the outside of the space, and oftentimes pulling things off of walls and creating clearance behind actually gives the illusion of a larger space. So that's one. That's an interesting one, I would say.
That's cool.
I also think oftentimes people missize rugs. And so if you have a rug that is too small for a space, it makes the space feel smaller. Versus if you do a larger rug that fills the space out, it's those psychological tricks, just little things that make a big difference. Yeah.
Do you fall in love with certain colors? Do you find yourself doing colors in a certain pattern? I know you probably feel it out every once in a while, but you probably have go-tos.
So with all of our clients, we will do kind of a discovery process where I get to know their look, their style, because I want their home to reflect their personal brand, right? My personal brand, I'm a green girl. I love green, as you may know, being in my home and walking through my spaces. Green, I think, is just a nice way to give that, bringing the outside in, making things feel alive. But
you do anything.
We work in the spectrum,
what do you do the most of? Is it like kitchens? Do you do mostly kitchen? Because that would, from my experience, a lot of people have a hard time like seeing the space well. Do you do a lot of those, or what's your most popular?
So I do a lot of renovations, which we call full home guts, and but in the kitchen, one of the processes that's really really fun to do with clients is evaluate how they use their space. Because when you're designing from nothing to something, you have a ton of flexibility in how you make that space work for people. So we will identify, do you cook just at Thanksgiving and Christmas?
Exactly.
Do you cook all the time? What big appliances are important to you? What countertop appliances do you use every day? What needs longer term storage? So we identify all the needs so that we're creating an organized system within a kitchen when we're doing it from scratch, and that can be a real game changer in how
it's almost like a personality profile first.
Oh yeah.
And then the kitchen comes second, because people don't know how they would use a space. A lot of times. Like, we built our house and we thought we knew, but there's definitely like some rooms where I'm like, I didn't think we were going to use it that way, or the kids now use it for this and this, and you're like, there is a little bit of guessing game involved in it. Even if you think you know, it's sometimes tough.
Totally. And I always say one space could be done hundreds of different ways. For different people. And so it's really a process of getting to know you and understanding how the space needs to work for you. And in that same vein, there are times where I will tell clients, we're not going to take this space to 100% right now. We're going to take it to 80, and you're going to live in it. And then you're going to give me the feedback, and then we'll do the last 20 after you've lived a little bit. Because some of that is, like, as you experience the space, you learn, okay, this is what's working really well, and this is still, you know,
That is awesome. All right, so people can get a hold of you. Do you have a website and all the good contact stuff?
Yes, you can find us www.ellehudson.com, and that's ELLE Hudson.com. We're also on Instagram, Elle Hudson Interiors, and Facebook. You can find us everywhere.
Awesome. So you can go there and they can schedule their free consultation. You would sit down with a meeting with them and kind of just get an idea of if you really would match with them and your personality fit.
We first set up that scoping call where they give us a call. We talk through all the details.
Okay, awesome. So be sure you give her a call.
Call me.
And check on space. I am terrible. I let the wife pick out all my stuff. Like, she picks colors, she does all the stuff, but there's sometimes where, like, you just don't know how to use that space. So it'd be great to just get another perspective.
For sure.
So I know we'll be working a lot in the future too, because we always have home sellers and things that want a second set of eyes on stuff. For the very reason I just gave you, that I'm not exactly like the picking colors and furniture guy. I'm the technology, getting the house presented guy, so I'm sure we'll work together in the past.
That'd be fantastic.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate your time here today.
Thanks, Bill.
And look forward to it. And then you have another office space coming up, so maybe we'll have a part 2 once you get the office space all set up. Great. So that'd be awesome.
Looking forward to it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.